Hello everyone, and welcome to the post-game discussion of Tag Across London vs. Londoner, with me, Larry, Luke,
a not Londoner,
and Thomas.
The titular Londoner somehow.
We're back here after 2 years since we recorded this.
This has been a long time coming.
So let's address the elephant in the room here. Yes, it has been almost 2 years since we filmed this. We filmed this in January 2024 when this channel was on hiatus. My laptop was lost and I lost all the avatars, all the animation stuff that we do in our other videos. You know, I was in a bit of a position.
Of course, as one usually is when they lose a lot of things at once.
So I was working on basically, rebooting the channel for most of that year. It finally happened in summer. And at this point in time, we had filmed the Bingo Across Amsterdam game, and I hadn't yet edited that. And honestly, motivation of these two games was quite low because I wasn't very happy with how Amsterdam went, and I knew it was very long. I wasn't super happy with how this one went because we all lost. And also, I was quite burnt out from Tag Across London Teams editing that solo. I was just a bit overwhelmed. I was just a bit like, I don't want to start this. I'm going to have to sit down for a long time and focus on this. And that's what happened. I produced the Amsterdam video after we filmed this.
Didn't you film and edit another game, like, in between this one being filmed and coming out?
Yes. In 2025, we did Tag Across GTA as a little fun one-off experiment. And I thought, this is going to be a nice and simple, quick thing, because it's not like, lots of camera footage. The rounds are all like 5 minutes long. It should be a simple, quick thing. I'll edit that, and then I'll be nice and warmed up for editing this. And that took as long as a real-life game did. and in retrospect, I should have just done this instead.
Oops.
Then it would have come out in summer 2025, but oh well. Tag Across GTA came out to very little fanfare, like not many people watched it, but
I liked it. I thought it was really good. It was really funny. Watch that after this video.
And also, all this was while I was moving. I moved twice, and I was running another channel, Larry's Lego. My music as well, my music videos, I was filming and making those. And I was doing a degree.
You had a lot going on, so...
Yeah, a lot of stuff was going on. Like, this is the world of my life, being pretty much the solo producer of this. Like, Jet Lag the game has, 14 or something people working on it. I'm one guy. But from this video onwards, I have Jade, who helped me with the assembly cut on this. But I hope that this was all very exceptional, and I'd never want a 2-year gap between videos ever again. That's not going to happen again on my watch.
Let's hope not.
We filmed another game after this in May last year. Hopefully it won't even be a year, but we'll see. I'm not making any promises. For now, we'll just go through the game.
I always feel a little out of my depths whenever we start the game for the first time. Like, it hasn't quite hit yet,
Yeah. As the person who went first, let me tell you, I remember looking at the previous games we'd done and being like, I would have done this, I would have done that kind of thing. And I know people in comments like to do this a lot, but let me tell you, when you're the first person to go and you've got to run and go somewhere, like your brain seizes up. You just think, I've got to go. And you stop being able to think much about strategy. Oh yeah, it's crazy to me that only the northbound Northern Line platform at Embankment Station is the only place in the entire Tube network that still has the iconic Mind the Gap voice.
Really?
And that happened to be the first place I left. The first place anyone left in this game. That's just insane.
Wow. I like how you didn't even think to run it first. I was like, we need to go.
This is definitely like a very me and Luke round. It's kind of similar to just what we kind of are like when we're just traveling around anyway.
I feel like we're usually making more jokes though. We got to be funny too. It's like we're entertainers, whereas I feel like most of what we were saying was strategy, I think.
Sort of.
I don't know if we filmed stuff that got cut or we were just joking between takes, which is also probably the case. But I mean,
yeah,
it's hard to here's our game plan, and we need to follow through with that and run to get to certain places and also be funny,
Yeah, it's true. People take for granted how much, you're playing a game and also, being your own camera crew and also being an entertainer.
Yeah.
It is a lot to do all in one go.
Mm.
I really like that, Thomas says this train's cool, we could take this train, and it is the District Line, which does not go to my start, Barbican.
Yes.
Yeah, the shit like that happens with me.
You two only notice after Aldgate East that you're on the district line.
I think we probably assumed that we were on the right train and didn't have to pay attention, although, like, it's probably a good idea to just pay attention anyway.
Yeah, I mean, not paying attention on the TFL never leads to anything good, guys.
In this instance, the fact that you're, from London and very used to this actually was a disadvantage because you're just, like, so used to the idea that I could just get on this train and get there, right?
Well, also, like, I don't use the trains all the time. I'm from London, but I'm not from central London. I use the trains that I need to use.
I never get that impression that you only casually know it, because, like, when we hang out in London, I see you strategizing a very efficient route. I'm like, damn, he sounds like he knows his shit, you know what I mean?
I think it could also just be a fact of the cameras are on, and as soon as the cameras are on, I've lost my composure a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm like the opposite of, like, Luke, how you mentioned you were, like, overly strategizing, not being funny. I'm too focused on, like, oh, I've got to be, like, funny. And then, like, I forget what I actually know about, like, traveling on the TFL.
It just kind of goes without saying, but it's like, if we make a really obvious mistake, we have, like, 20 things to try and, like, think about at once. And that's not, like, an excuse for, bad gameplay, really. When the cameras are on, we get really dumb.
Yeah, this is true.
Keep that in mind. We lose a few IQ points when the cameras turn on. Please go easy on us. Did we ever change those profile pictures on Life 360? I think mine might still be the same, just like these really unflattering photos of us.
Of course.
It's like a face raider's face.
I think I was setting up the tracking app the night before, and it was like pitch black, the middle of the night, and I just saw like the selfie like camera turn on, and it looked like that, and I was like, yeah, that's perfect.
I did change mine. I'm on the app now. I did change it, apparently.
Oh, wow. I put a little visual on screen to sort of tell the viewer how long the journeys took because of the 15-minute rule mostly, even though it's funny, after my run, like, it never gets mentioned again, the 15-minute rule, but it does ultimately, I suppose, affect everyone's decisions, even if they're not mentioning it. I get the first challenge of the game is touch a bank. So I find this Barclays in central London. Now, I want to tell you some fun trivia. I looked up on Google Maps when I was editing to figure out how long this walk was, just out of interest, doesn't affect the game. And it's not on Google Maps, and I was like, what? I looked up, it's gone. It's just abandoned building now. This Barclays is not there since between when we filmed it and when it came out.
That's how long we have been holding on to this footage. A bank branch is closed.
The Barclays dissolved.
Jesus.
Another example of how much stuff gets cut out. There's a whole part here, like this train stood here for 5 minutes and you were talking for a bit, but just to speed the game along, I just cut that.
I was gonna say, because I remember we were like, oh my god, we gotta get to the train, because you can see in the footage we run into the train, and then I was thinking, I could have sworn that we were just sitting around.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you confirmed that for me just now, because I was like, we didn't have to rush.
You ran in really fast and then realized, this train isn't leaving yet.
Yeah. There was no urgency to this.
I realize you guys aren't here waiting for me as much as you maybe could have been if you had taken the circle line.
If we'd waited another couple of minutes, then we probably could have.
But we realised that the video would just be too short, so we had to space it out. We had to give you a chance, Larry.
Of course.
We're trying to throw in a little razzle-dazzle for the viewer. Keep it entertaining for as long as we can, How boring would it be if someone just lost in the first 36 minutes of a round, It's like, where's the fun in that?
How boring. I found it so interesting how you two, as chasers, were pretty much the exact opposite of Mads and Jamie as the chasers in Tag Across London teams. In that, for reasons I can't understand, you just decided, okay, all in Brixton, let's go. It's funny to me that there's no real, he must be going to Brixton because XYZ. It was just, Brixton maybe? Let's go Brixton. But I do like that you did that. I like that you did just go, because it's so much more interesting to watch than you just sat still waiting.
Gotta keep it moving,
So I was trying to track patient zero of where this whole Brixton theory came from, and this seems to be the moment of Thomas just sort of say that, Brixton could have maybe been where I'm going, and then I get the impression that Luke sort of goes oh, okay, so Brixton, let's aim for Brixton then. As if that was the one place I could have been going to.
Honestly, looking at this map and just seeing the destination options, I feel like we probably should have gone back down the circle line and aimed for Victoria or something, That
probably would have been the better idea.
Again, it's always so much easier in retrospect.
Of course. Also, when you have these nice maps.
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of the fun of watching it back for us, right? Is the part where we just kind of slap ourselves on the forehead and go, for God's sake, that would have been so easy.
Oh, definitely. That was a big part for me, as we're going to see later, the way my round ended. That was a something as well that I was a bit like, oh man, I've got to put so much time and effort into making this video and to show the world that blunder. Okay, so I get the Wii game challenge, and yes, funnily this was my idea, and I kind of figured, well, Central London, you're probably always going to be somewhere near enough. And then only when I got this and I looked around and there were like no shops, I was like, oh no, I might be in the worst place to get this. And yep, sure enough, Angel Station. Yeah, I cut the walk because like nothing much was happening on your guys' end. So like there was nothing to cut to. But this was a long walk and I filmed a bunch of stuff. It was really long. And I was quite tired by the end of it. Funny, I moved Angel Station on this map so you could see where I was walking to.
Ooh, it's a little cheat. I appreciate that. That's nice.
I touched Family Trainer Extreme Sports or whatever the heck that was.
We should play that.
I wanted to talk about as well that I think in Tag Cross London Teams, or maybe even the very first game we did, where I took screenshots from the video to like, oh, challenge complete. I didn't intentionally make them look really silly, but people would point out that they were just really funny, that they would always just look so dumb. So I've lent into that since. I would try and pick like a really stupid frame, like with this one, where I'm just staring in the camera with hair like in my face.
You've got like one eye poking out through your hair.
I tried to harvest the absolute worst frame I can.
Like the frame of you getting captured, like that's an elite frame. It's good.
Something I regret is not putting a flashback to me saying this, because I say this advice and then I go against it and I lose the game. I say, if you want to win this game, you've got to never go back where you came out of. And I came out of Gloucester Road, I went back into it, and I got caught. You guys apparently recorded this really funny bit, but it didn't record. You weren't recording. So would you two like to share the bit that happened here?
It could have, Larry, that could have been anything. That could have been anything.
We'll never know.
And you'll never know either, viewer. Just imagine the funniest joke you can, and that's what we were talking about. That's what we said.
Yep.
Just laugh and laugh and laugh, and pretend that we made you laugh.
Just pretend you got the enjoyment.
Yeah. I do have a separate point that I just kind of want to bring up right now. I don't know how like common this is to like anyone who isn't from London, but I've always found these stairs very weird because the tiles go diagonal with them. Usually that don't happen. Usually like bricks or whatever like stay flat.
Oh yeah.
These tiles in London have always been very strange to me for that reason. They've always made it like feel kind of trippy. And I'm really glad that this shot appears in this video. I'm happy to just bring that
weird. Up. I'm glad you brought that up, Thomas. That's like your trippy stair tiles to my escalator stories. Earlier in the game, I think there was a lot more explaining of what you guys were doing. I think from here on out, like, you guys just sort of aren't really explaining much to camera. So, you know, I got Luke in for the voicing over instead.
I think we did both get pretty intense. Considering how much we didn't really come to, like, any conclusion slowly. We actually just kind of did a lot of thinking, then suddenly seemed to pick a random place to go. I think we were both really trying to focus.
There was a bit I cut here. There's a misunderstanding between you two, the chasers. Luke sort of realizes, oh, we're going the wrong way. We're supposed to be going to Stockwell. And then, you know, Thomas didn't understand. You thought you were going one way, the other thought they were going the other.
Yeah.
And so they went this long, convoluted way around to Stockwell instead, which is why that happened, because of the misunderstanding. But it's very confusing from a viewing perspective, because the last thing that was known was, oh, he's there, we should go there, and then you just don't go there. So, yeah.
Well, it's funny, like, with you being at Angel Station as well, we could have stopped you there.
Easily.
We really could have just stopped you there. Again, we have video sillies. I think that's what I should call it from now on. Anytime we're on camera, we have video sillies. So
it's a disease that inebriates the mind.
It really does.
A disease.
It makes you silly. So Luke and I talked about how we were going to like present the confusion that happened this round, and we decided to just make a bit of Luke's honest answers that he does not remember what really happened because it was 2 years ago. So let's just make a whole joke of it.
It's funny because you were like saying, it's like, what were you thinking? Why were you doing that? And I was like, I don't know. I don't remember. and like, you wouldn't be like actually mad, but I could tell you're like baffled. And I was like, I don't have.
I was baffled. I was a bit frustrated because like this has to make sense to the viewer, and it just doesn't make sense to anyone alive right now.
No answer that I could ever come up with would ever rationalize what was happening there. So it's like, we'll lean into it. Why not? You know?
Yeah. I took a bus from Angel Station, funnily. I found out in the footage that actually the bus stop was at Angel Station. And then you guys are baffled that I'm entering a bus. And I will say, fair enough, like, thanks to my stupid Wii challenge, I had this massive detour. I was really faffing around. I spent so much of the game just painting this stupid route on the map when, you know, and then, like, at the very end, it just, like, blitzed down the Piccadilly line almost to my destination. Oh yes, the Nintendo Challenge Redemption.
There's a lot of Nintendo references in this video.
Yeah, 2 things back to back.
Yes, because we've had lengthy conversations about this particular challenge.
Well, the funny thing was, when we put this challenge in the game and filmed this, I hadn't yet seen the footage of Amsterdam, so I didn't know that that massive controversy happened. Like, as far as I was concerned at the time, you guys just did the challenge. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what happened.
But we can let it be.
It's done.
It's had its redemption.
It's had its redemption by me.
It's done. It will never come back.
That's not true. It won't be a Nintendo, but a similar thing does come back for the next game we filmed after this. Bringing back what you said earlier, Luke, about me being a bit frustrated about, like, you know, not knowing what was going on, nothing making sense. Like, you filmed that discussion, and the next footage was you at Gloucester Road. I had no explanation of anything that happened here, which is why I needed Luke's voiceover. But there was footage of you two. You turn on the camera, and you're like,
what are we doing? Just going to B-roll. Oh, right. Okay, well, I was asking you to explain to the audience what a play is, but...
I mean, we could do that in a voiceover, but...
Oh, okay.
Basically, let me...
and I was just watching, like, what? No, I needed that. No, guys, tell the audience, please. It was just so tantalizing that, like, he came so close to explain.
I guess I was just thinking we would remember what it was, and nope, that's unreliable. You can't count on that.
No, you have to tell in the moment, or it's gone. You know, it's all in your head in that moment, and that's it.
I was just like, nah, I'll let Larry figure it out.
So I got Luke in voiceover to explain what happened. But it's good that we could work around it. Like, it still all made sense once it was tied together.
Yeah.
But we got this. We got the important stuff. We got Luke running like a rooster, and then Thomas getting distracted.
By my ass.
By his luscious hips. my ass.
My ass, boy.
Finding something that references royalty. So I walk and I don't see that there is a post box right there in shot, which has a crown Elizabeth II. And I was debating just cutting that and just acting like that didn't happen. But I thought, I don't know, I think people are going to find it funny to point out that I just missed that.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was behind you, wasn't it?
So, and people have, and, you know, it's a fun time.
Oh, have people already pointed it out?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I saw at least one comment that mentioned that.
Multiple people have been like, you didn't see the post box.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
And, you know, it gives people a fun thing to point out and remember. So,
and
you
laugh and laugh. Who is it that walked past an embassy on the way to find an embassy?
It was Mads.
Like, that's funny, but that just happens. You miss, like, obvious stuff, you know?
Especially when you're so in the moment when I'm being chased. I don't even know how close you guys are. There are sort of 2 states as the runner in Tag. The Jetlag Layover podcast, they can attest as well. You either think they're right behind me, they're gonna get me, or, you know what, it's been kind of forever. I think they just lost, they're nowhere near me. I think I'm good.
That's so true.
And I'm gonna be honest, that's where I was at here. I didn't really think that you guys were actually that close by.
Thomas and I split up at this point. I was a little surprised that you didn't show...
No, I didn't. I cut around the fact that you two split. I thought it just wasn't really relevant.
I forgot that we split, you know. That's opened up another memory for me now.
This was cut short. This was quite a long section of you two being outside the station, walking around looking for me while I was walking away from it. I was trying to walk to Earl's Court, which, of course, obviously would have been a much better idea. But I realized, I'm going away. I'm going south instead of west. And of course, I don't really say in the moment, but I was really tired after walking so long to get to Angel Station for the Wii challenge. I was tired from all the running I did in the stations. I was tired from all the walking around Holborn Station.
And the early start, too, because you came down to London that morning. So.
And the early start. Yeah, I came into London that morning. I didn't have like a start in London. But it's not like I genuinely thought, do I really care about winning, or do I just want to like stop and rest? It wasn't that. As I said a second ago, I did kind of think they were just faffing around, and chances are they're not going to be there and I'm going to be lucky. That's what I was thinking.
Little did you know.
Little did I know they were right freaking there. Of course, once you're chill sat there watching back the game, I was thinking, man, I could have taken a bus. Why didn't I take a bus? Surely there could have been a bus to Parsons Green, but of course it's so easy to say in retrospect. In that moment, I was just like, I've got to get on the district line to Parsons Green. I'm just going to run to Gloucester and hope for the best. And of course, that's when this happens. It's a shame that we didn't get super great wide shots, but I'm glad at least both sides were filming during the catch. Both teams really faffed around with like this mess of a section here, this mess of a section here.
Yeah, like going down to Pimlico for no reason is just kind of funny, you know?
Jade, who did the rough cut of this, put a note in for me to do like a visual of the runner changing, which funnily was something I never did before. You know, we sort of explain, oh, I'm the runner now, and I figured that was enough. But you know, I thought, okay, I'll do that. I think it was worth it.
It's nice.
I really love how happy you look when you're running here. It's very funny.
You'll never see me smile like that again.
I love the total shift when you're like running away from us, and then in the station, like, okay, I'm gonna spin the wheel.
Like a brief burst of dopamine.
And then like the reality of, oh, I need to stop and spin a wheel.
Yeah, like this is some serious shit. I was gonna say, like, this should be a pretty easy round, not just for me, just in general. I think this might be like the easiest start and finish section. And yet
right.
Still, I really made a proper meal out of it.
Oh yeah, I want to address this bit here. You're filming after getting off the Piccadilly line, but you're filming in the Bakerloo line platform because you got lost and didn't find your way out. You ended up in the Bakerloo line. And I just thought there's probably someone out there who was watching that confused, like, hang on, he was on the Piccadilly line.
I did get lost. I don't remember that happening specifically, I just believe it.
I really do like that you did send this to us and asked, like, does this count? Because, you know, that would have been great in Amsterdam, of course. But yeah, and watching this back, it's so funny. The most important part, it's starting with a T, is cropped out of the photo.
I'm the T replacing it. It's the same initial as
You
my
are
name.
the T.
Yeah, I'm the T. Charing Cross, like, it's a pretty good place to be in a situation like this, because just walk somewhere and you'll be at another station on another line if Charing Cross don't already serve you. That's probably like the smartest thing I did this whole game.
I concur that was very smart. I never would have thought of that, but you're right. Charing Cross, you're within walking distance of so many lines, even if the actual station isn't.
Even Waterloo, I think, like, you can just walk over the bridge.
You can, yeah, you can. And I'm sure that wouldn't have been as long a walk as my Wii game walk.
No, honestly, probably not.
So annoyingly here, I'm sort of not thinking as much like you guys did of, it's this start, let's go for it. I was thinking, what if he's not going to the start though?
You're the one rational thinker, Larry, out of all of us.
That bit me in the arse though, because he was going there, so we just wasted time. But we did also pick those lines because we would have signal in them, as they have gaps that go over ground. Funnily, this is a part of the game that has now changed because of real life consequences. I think there's now 5G on a lot of the London Underground lines, even in the tubes.
This is true. This is true.
This wasn't the case at the time.
This is a historic video. People will look at this one day and think, wow, they didn't always have data.
Yeah, people will look at this today and think, wow, they didn't always have data.
Look at all these great Larry shots.
We watched this back and neither of us remember that happening, I think. Is that true?
Yeah, no, that is right. Yeah.
How do you pronounce Marylebone, folks? Everyone who has an opinion, post in the chat.
I think I put in the game rules. I listed the Wikipedia listed correct pronunciations of Marylebone and said not to use Marylebone.
Yeah, that one I know for
Marylebone.
sure is wrong, but I feel like even knowing the right one, there's something in my mouth muscles that refuses to let me say it right.
The easiest thing to me is just imagine it's a silent Y. Like the Y just ain't there. Then it just makes sense.
That's kind of how I pronounce it, Marylebone.
I'll practice in private and I'll let you know how I get on.
Practice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I reused the map from Tag Across London Teams as a map I made from scratch. Well, not, obviously based on the London Underground map, based on an 80s one. Surprisingly, not much of the actual tube has changed. I didn't add the Elizabeth line because we didn't use it. Didn't remove the overground because that would have taken too much effort, and I already spent so much time on this video.
I think that's also the reason they don't just get rid of like most of the actual overground. It's going to be too expensive and would take too much effort, so they just keep it all. Like.
That's true. Yeah, we might as well keep it.
Larry, I didn't actually know that you used a custom map for these videos. That's a detail that went over my head.
I did also just find out as well, for the record. Like.
Is that something that other people have noticed? Like,
I don't think anyone's pointed it out, actually. I don't think anyone's
Are you
noticed
waiting
that.
for someone to ask? It's like...
No, honestly, I didn't make this for the game. I just wanted to see what a modern Just Tube map would look like in the style of the 80s map.
Honestly, I think this is the place to use it.
When we did Tag Cross London Teams, I was like, I could use this. That would work. I love how committed you are to the bit. You splash yourself and then just go, I don't know if that counts more.
again, for how much I try, it's a pretty pathetic attempt. Like, barely any of it even came out.
This was the round where we cut an entire section.
The timeline here is fuzzy because the GoPro clocks were all out of sync. Jade was really struggling to make sense of the assembly cut, like how to put all this together. Here is where a sequence gets completely cut out. We're at Baker Street, and then I just cut to us going back down. But what actually happened here was we walked out. The tracker said Thomas was very nearby, and we had this massive long chase while Thomas on his end wasn't really recording anything. And so it was like this kind of schizophrenic chase when there was no one actually there. There was nothing going on, nothing made sense. We were just certain that Thomas was there, right there, and there was nothing to prove that he was, and this was just very confusing for everyone. So the whole thing just got cut. But we were running.
Was there a problem with the tracker? Was it not updating properly, or was it something else?
I think it must have been. It's hard to prove because, again, we didn't really have his side of the story recorded during that, but we just don't really know. It's very possible that trackers are always funny. They're not always perfect. They're rarely perfect. So it's possible that we just thought he was right there and really he was, on the bus on the way down to Oxford Circus.
But, oh my god, he had us unintentionally running. I mean, running up and down these streets, everywhere.
Yeah, I remember. I was so out of breath.
And we were giving chase, and we were just keep going. And it felt like, how is he doing this? Is it a bus? Which way? Which street? Is it down here? No. Back we go. Back to the station. It was so crazy and chaotic, and I really wish that we could have kept it in the video. We can talk about it, so that's worth something, I guess.
I can assure you it wasn't intentional. I think I was just honestly going about my business and just something happened to not really clock with the tracker.
The tracker must have been messing with us, and we were just on this wild goose chase.
On our end too, I mean, it was just Thomas was always just on the other side of this long stretch of buildings. We were like, we can get him, and no.
Jade and I came to the conclusion that due to how little there is on Thomas's end and how little the timeline makes sense, it's so much more comprehensible to the viewer if it's just, we're at Baker Street, we find out he's going there, we go there. The end,
When I was watching this video, I was trying to see, do we look visibly more tired, sweaty,
Yes.
and
Yes,
out
we
of
do.
breath?
We look so tired, I'm so red, I'm so exhausted.
Oh my god, we really, really were.
And and then you're in Oxford Circus, you do the Q challenge.
I think I was pretty lucky again to be in Oxford Circus. I'm actually genuinely quite familiar with Oxford Circus.
I mean, you get to Oxford Circus and you're immediately like, I know where to find a queue.
I find it funny how Barclays Bank returns in the challenge. This is another Barclays.
Did this one close down as well?
Is this one closed as well? Let's find out. Yeah, it's still there. It's still there.
By the end of this video, it will not be.
I'm so happy with how I cut this together, with you saying how much you hope you just don't lose at Oxford Circus.
Yeah.
And then I've cut to the icon going down to Oxford Circus. I really love as well this tiny child. It looks like you flip the camera and that is me.
If he was wearing green, it'd be perfect. Come on, little Larry.
I love how this happened. I didn't even see him here. You ran off and I was like, where is he?
You put up a good fight, though, to be fair, Thomas. You did a pretty good job.
You know what? Thank you for that. Well, I remember I crossed the road. I either crossed the road to your side or I was thinking of crossing the road to the other side and didn't. And because of my decision there, that's why you got me.
Wow, that was the decision. I wonder what would happen if you had been on the other side of the road, because it's Oxford Circus. You can't easily just run across the road. Oh, that's crazy to think about. How much a small thing like that, being on the other side of the road, how much that would have affected the game.
Yeah.
I was interested in what your plan was after Oxford Circus. I mean, I don't know if you remember, but would you then have gone to Waterloo and then gone to Canada Water from there? Because you couldn't get to Canada Water directly from Oxford Circus.
I'm not really sure. That was probably it, because by going from Waterloo, that would keep up that trend. So I'm confident that was it. Can't confirm, but I make you right there.
It probably takes longer than 15 minutes from Bond Street, so you might not have been able to get there directly anyway.
Uh-oh, it's Luke's turn.
I really love how much you big up your round, Luke. It's so fun. You've got great showmanship.
I knew that even if I had to lose spectacularly, it's sizzle. It's the sizzle that people are after.
I don't think by this point you thought you were going to lose, though, right? Like,
I don't know. I wanted to give it a fair shot, but if I did lose for whatever reason, it's something funny to look back on where I'm bigging up the round and I eat shit immediately.
The next thing you film is just you basically saying, I think this is a terrible plan. Like, immediately.
It was pure panic. Everything that I said and did in this round was motivated by pure panic and adrenaline. So there was no logic to any of my decision making, and I fully own up to that. I had a bad case of the video sillies.
The video sillies,
Yeah, so
TM.
I'm surprised you weren't so panicked about, or maybe you were, but like keeping it to yourself. I would have been like, oh man, I'm so close to the start and I have a challenge where I have to sit still for 3 minutes.
I think that was definitely on my mind. I was thinking if I walk to Russell Square, get on a train, and just go. That was my biggest downfall.
You were so close to getting to your start. That park was Russell Square. The park was actually called Russell Square. You were so very close to reaching Russell Square Station. And if you'd just gone there, if you'd just gone away from us.
Yeah. It didn't look like it, but I was running between takes.
It's amazing how much it looks like you framed this shot so you could see Thomas running. It's so perfect.
I was going to say, watching it back, I was like, oh my god, there he is.
It's like you knew, but you couldn't have. When you're shooting a GoPro at you, you can't even see its screen.
No,
you can't even see what you are filming. So it's not possible.
The framing was so perfect.
And then, yet it was so perfect.
Oh my god. That's the one good thing that came from my round, is just like seeing that shot. There is something kind of embarrassing about how quickly my round ended. There was part of me that was really hesitant and almost afraid to watch this video back, because I'm like, oh no, you idiot. You know, like I want to like scream at myself, you know.
You and me both.
I feel quite similar. Like, I feel like I did a pretty non-outstanding job, considering, like, I'm the Londoner in the title.
I think that's the thing. I think ultimately, like, all of us to a degree think we didn't do amazingly in this. Something that as well, you know, sort of maybe want to put this off more. But I'm glad that reception has been really good. People have really enjoyed it, which is really good. Like, and I'm happy that, like, that has been the case despite...
Oh, that's good.
I was very happy with my round. You weren't very happy with your rounds.
I think in rewatching back my own round, I didn't feel this quite the same way. For the sake of the video, it turned out alright. I think you did a good job salvaging what you could for this from my recording.
I remember at this time feeling very defeated that there was no one who got to the end. It was just a whole game of failures.
I think one victory would have been nice, and I wish it was me, but you know.
I really wanted it to be you. I remember at the time thinking, like, I know I'm the chaser and I've got to stop him, but I really want him to win.
Well, like, everyone in the comments agrees, right? Like, everyone was rooting for Luke.
Everyone was rooting for Luke, yeah, it's true. People resonated with you. I saw a comment that was like, I was really rooting for Luke because he had no idea what he was doing, lol.
Luke, I gotta say, I think, like, you were the realest of us throughout this video.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, bro. This one's for the viewers. Loses immediately.
It's basically a story of an American man surviving in Britain. I think that is kind of relatable and respectable.
Surviving.
Well, I appreciate that. You know, every day it's a struggle. You know, like, there's people, you know, getting beaten down in the streets. I'm one of them. You know, it's like, I'm suffering, you know. Every day it's like, you know, you never know if someone's going to ask me where I'm from. That's the hardest part of my life, you know. It's every time it's like, are you from America? And I deflate, you know. It's like I feel my soul leave. I'm like, yes, unfortunately so. So thank you to my loyal supporters and fans.
Of course.
That third place loss, that was for you guys. For anyone who has never been able to fit in, I did this for you guys.
But yeah, I also realized that actually the chasers did win each time. I think we're focusing so much on the runners rounds, but everyone did really good as the chasers. Everyone caught everyone.
Yeah.
You know?
That's true.
As a chaser, we all did a good job, so it's not like we all just failed the whole game.
Yeah, we all won.
So yeah, it finished with a 36-minute round. I showed this to some people who are not us, who haven't done these things, and they were really surprised how long Thomas's and my rounds were. December. It was like, what? It was 2.5 hours? Yeah, it's true. It's just there's just so much that gets cut out. There's so much waiting. There's so much moving. There's so much walking. There's a lot.
It is quite tiring, though.
Oh, it's very tiring.
It's exhausting, yeah.
Anything to add about like just the game as a whole?
Congratulations. You're the real winner.
Thank you, I did win.
Congrats, Larry, for the win. Congrats, Luke, for the record.
And congrats, Thomas, as well. This was pretty much your first time on camera, right?
Yeah, in such a long-form video. Yeah, I've been in some of the Lego videos, but other than that, not so much.
Yeah, you did a really good job for your, I guess, like first time in this, you know?
Thank you. I'm glad you guys have the opposite opinion of me. I think you two are like completely solid. You two own the camera.
Let's answer people's questions, shall we?
Yes.
Okay.
Grandpappy says, the editing really are high-budget TV level tier. Well, thank you. Did you edit this part by part during months, or did you do a focus on that one? I got the Jade cut, the rough edit, and then I started this in November and pretty much finished at the start of December. I was working hard on this, to be fair. I spent several entire nights working on this, on the maps and soundtracking it and all that, and by the end of it I was feeling a bit like death. But I did only spend a month working on this, and I say only because Amsterdam took 2 months. I think Tag Across London teams took it took so long as well. I did not work on this slowly. I worked on it quite intensively, and it still took a long time. It still took a month, but it didn't take 2 years to actually edit. Comment from Mr. No 104. Any plans for collaborations with other YouTubers?
Yeah, I mean, I'm open to the idea of similar people. I think there was someone who tried to, in a previous comment, someone was like, do this with me and meet me at this station on this date. Like, what?
We got an email from someone in Germany about meeting up to do a game possible, and maybe we could do something like that. Yeah, maybe a YouTuber, maybe, but it's just when it's someone you don't even know, you don't know how good they're going to be on camera, you don't know if they're even a good person to be around, it's a bit I
mean, I'm open to collaborating with new people, but I think the way that we operate at the moment is
it's hard enough to get us to be in the same place at the same time. Logistically, it's a whole operation.
But who's to say? I mean, never say never.
Yeah, never say never. And yes, Pangtastic did indeed do Capture the Boroughs, which looked cool. I'm going to very, very briefly dip my toes into people talking about Jetlag Hide and Seek. They've done an official Hide and Seek that you can buy the game of and do. My biggest problem with Hide and Seek is I really just always being on the move, and Hide and Seek really relies, as part of the game, one side is always basically still. And that's not very exciting to me personally. I love watching Hide and Seek, but I don't know if I'd like to do it, but I'm not going to write it off, especially if you guys or other people on the channel would love to do that.
I think we'd have to do our own twist on it.
Of course.
Yeah, true.
But something like that would be interesting, I think.
Yeah, and I would not want to play just their official game. Part of the fun with me is just balancing our own variants of the games with our own rules.
Yeah.
Just doing what they've already done is just a bit lame to me. Comment from Raquel, just a big video editing nerd. Curious how long it all might have taken. Maybe any interesting details about the process you want to talk about. Looks so much attention put into every aspect. Makes the video fun to watch. Well, thank you. I'm glad you appreciate all the details. I calculated, and let me just check my hour log. In total, it was about 66 hours of work. And this was with Jade having put the video roughly together for me, which takes a lot as well. So all the maps, surprisingly takes a long time to figure out what music should go, how to soundtrack it. I find that's a big part of it. I've come to realize how important music is in editing, how much it brings it from being this lifeless slog to watch to oh, this is real now. Steve SH89, how did you come up with the start and end points? Must have been tricky to have to take into account bus routes. Gonna be honest, we didn't take into account bus routes when we did this.
And we don't need to.
But equally, the rules kind of solve that though, because buses take a lot longer than trains do usually, and there's a 15-minute rule, right? So you couldn't take the bus the whole way. The start and end points were calculated so that the end point could never be super close to the start point. That was a big thing we did after Tag Across London 1, where Mad's got a super close end to the start. So with it so that a start can only get ends that are far from it, combined with the 15-minute rule, it's pretty much solved that you wouldn't get there directly. What were all the challenges you could get? I mean, we're still going to be using some of them, so we don't kind of want to spoil them all. But
basically, any challenge that you don't see tends to get recycled into a future game. So I think it'd be interesting to go through all the challenges that we never did and that we cut from the game completely.
Yeah, that's actually more interesting. We definitely have some. Okay, I brought some up. This was for the first Tag Across London. This is the first draft, I think. Go to a McDonald's, buy and eat anything. I think we just cut because it's a bit boring and it's McDonald's specific.
But I won't say no if that's in another game.
Walk into a chain supermarket that you have already visited a branch of before today. Very confusing wording and honestly a bit lame.
Just go to a supermarket.
Yeah. It's the TLDR. I remember in like the first 2 ones we did, I really wanted this to come up and it never did. This was actually on the wheel. Lay entirely on the ground for 10 seconds. You must film yourself. You may go to a safe place to do this, but I think it would be a bit boring. I think it's just laying on the ground for 10 seconds.
And 10 seconds too.
By the way, here, Luke says, if only I could stack up challenges going for a walk in the park. I didn't bother like adding the actual context for this. One of the other challenges we could get was go for a walk in the park. I think you had to walk in the park for like 2 or something minutes.
Oh, right.
And so you were saying like, oh, if only I could also do that challenge, I'd be doing that now, you know. Yeah, film a foreign vehicle number plates was a challenge, but I think filming number plates is not a great idea, and ultimately it has to be blurred, and that would just not be interesting if you can't even see it. Please do these more frequently, man. If they knew how much it takes so much work.
You just gotta have like 20 of these lined up at any given moment.
I'm happy this ended up being put together, even if it was really late. I think it was worth it in the end, seeing how much people have been, how much you guys have been enjoying this.
Hell yeah. I think that pretty much covers everything we wanted to talk about.
Well, we hope you enjoyed this post-game discussion. Leave a comment if
you got the video sillies, let us know.
If you got the video sillies from watching us.
It is contagious, so you might have it and not know it.
Comment video sillies.
You might be a carrier.
Can I also just say, don't forget to like and subscribe. Just because I've always wanted to say that, I've never had the opportunity.
Oh, hell yeah.
Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that damn bell. Click on the bell to get notified every time we upload a new video.
And we'll see you next time.
See you next time, folks.
Bye.